If you've ever dwelling on the fact you made a fool of yourself, sticking this episode of the Ellen DeGeneres Show on should make you feel loads better. Watching Ellen DeGeneres awkwardly eat humble pie as Dakota Johnson called her out will no doubt help you realize that your cock-up really wasn't that embarrassing after all. Even though the 66-year-old's mouth did enough damage, this body language expert believes DeGeneres was also sending subliminal messages with her movements. In what must have been one of the most awkward live TV moments in history, the comedian called out the actress for missing her off the invite list to her birthday bash. The 50 Shades of Grey star marked her 30th trip around the sun with a star-studded party in Malibu, attended by the likes of Robert Downey Jr. and Miley Cyrus. But DeGeneres didn't get to enjoy the past canapés and endless supply of champagne, as she claimed she wasn't invited to Johnson's celebration. Take a look at the ridiculously uncomfortable exchange which followed here. During Johnson's appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres Show in November 2019, the comedian took the opportunity to explain she held something of a grudge against the star. "How was the party? I wasn't invited," she said in reference to the lavish shindig which had been thrown a month earlier. But the Texas-born actress quickly corrected the funny woman and pointed out that this was not the truth. In fact, Johnson said she had bent over backwards to make sure DeGeneres was invited. The Madame Web star said, "Last time I was on the show last year, you gave me a bunch of asterisk about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited. I didn't even know you liked me." DeGeneres appeared quite taken aback that the tables had been turned on her, asking Johnson whether she was sure that the invitation had been sent. "Ask everybody," Johnson replied. "Ask Jonathan, your producer. But I did invite you, and you didn't come." DeGeneres then awkwardly said, "I was invited. Why didn't I go? Oh yeah, I had that thing. It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to. I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you." As well as their verbal back and forth, body language boffin Blanca Cobb believes DeGeneres and Johnson also sent a few sneaky messages with their movements during the interview. The expert told Cosmopolitan that after reviewing the footage, she picked up on a few telling gestures which both stars made. Positioning. According to Cobb, DeGeneres was feeling uneasy as soon as she sat down with Johnson. "The right leg is crossed over her left leg, and that leg, the way she has it, serves like a barrier between her and Dakota," she said. "So it's like a psychological barrier as well as a physical barrier." The body language expert also noticed that the comedy star was rubbing her fingers either on the armrest or on the leg, suggesting that DeGeneres may have been self-soothing. Leaning, on the other hand, Johnson appeared to be extremely confident and comfortable when responding to DeGeneres. Cobb reckons that this is evident due to the fact she leaned towards the talk show host as they chatted. Even when she explained the reasoning behind why DeGeneres wasn't invited to her 29th birthday the year prior, the body language expert reckons her movements showed she was being sincere, candid, and forward. Written all over her face. In response to her guest's explanation, DeGeneres said, "Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, don't I show like?" However, Cobb says the comedian's true feelings were written all over her face. "If you have something positive to say to somebody, you're going to reflect it on your face," she said. Likewise, when you're pissed at somebody, you're going to reflect that on your face. I'm not exactly sure if Ellen was pissed. I think she was a bit surprised. Turning heads. Rubbing salt into DeGeneres' FOMO wound, Johnson revealed that her favorite comedian, Tig Notaro, had attended her 30th birthday party. Which is a pretty audacious statement to make when you were sat in front of another comedian, isn't it? According to Cobb, DeGeneres did not see this comment coming, as she immediately disengaged from the conversation when she heard it. She turned her head, she looked away from Dakota, and then she looked down with her eyes a little bit, Cobb said. She was definitely disconnecting and disengaging, and obviously, when you're turning away from somebody, you don't like what they're saying.